Backstage update on Charlotte Flair's Heat with WWE. What's going on? Will she show up tonight on SmackDown? We're only going to have to find out. Plus, AEW and Impact Wrestling has that forbidden door closed down and been shut forever. And with Bray Wyatt right around the corner, Matt Hardy teases a reunion with former WWE superstar Bray Wyatt. We're going to jump into all of it in today's Freestyle Friday edition of The Top Story.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
What's up, everyone? It is Friday, 2 days before Halloween. My house is decorated. It's the Freestyle Friday edition of The Top Story. I'm your host, Jose G. Next to me, Jeremy Bennett, as always, joining me. How are you today, broski?
Good, man. It is Friday. The weekend is here. Oh, yeah. Crack one open. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Guys, get your questions, get your comments on screen on today's edition of Freestyle Friday. No question is off limits. We're going to go ahead and jump into all of that. Subscribe to the channel as always. Thank you for getting us over 22,000. We're well on our way to 23,000 subscribers on YouTube. So keep hitting that notification button and notification bell and subscribing because it really helps. You're going to get all your notifications. We got brand new stuff dropping on the daily. Tonight, we got Smack Talk with Dirty Dutch Mantel and SP3. Monday nights, Vince Russo. We also got Wednesday nights, the debrief with myself, Enrico El Glorioso, breaking down AEW Dynamite and NXT 2.0. And as always, every single afternoon here on The Top Story. So, Jeremy, Charlotte Flair's been quite the topic as the last few days, actually the last week per se, but more so these last 48 hours. A new report today from good old Uncle Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer himself. He put out a report on some type of heat that Charlotte Flair has backstage. What are we talking about here?
Well, yesterday we reported that they had pulled Charlotte from all media with everything that's gone on. That all started with Friday night when she got into it with both Becky Lynch and Sonya Deville. According to Uncle Dave Meltzer at the Wrestling Observer, the heat on Flair has actually been building over time, mostly due to little things piling up. This incident with Becky Lynch being the icing on the cake is what he calls it. Most of these little things have to do with match structure involving Charlotte. She's a heel, but doing babyface spots in and out of the ring, and because of that, it's very hard to get her over as a heel. She's been working an in-ring style more like a babyface, and WWE not really liking it. Also, an incident earlier in the year with Rhea Ripley, who had her push kind of cool down after losing the title to Charlotte. She has been, of course, tagging with Nikki ASH. Many felt Flair was to blame for Rhea Ripley's downfall and D-push. But basically any decision still has to come directly from Vince, and so it didn't really have to necessarily directly do anything with Charlotte. But it's just something to note that this incident with Becky last week was not a first of its kind. Of course, you know, there was the match with Nia Jax that turned into a shoot fight not too long ago, a couple months ago. So yeah. Looks like a bunch of different little things that have piled up over time. Be interesting to see if she's on the show tonight.
Well, the word is that she is backstage and she is scheduled to wrestle in the first hour. That's a question from Molly Warwick. We will go ahead and answer that for you guys today. But yes, it looks like she's still going to be there. But it'll be interesting if there's going to be any type of repercussions. You know, we were talking about this yesterday. What are they going to do? Are they going to strip her of the title? Or are they going to force her to drop the title on a SmackDown? Like, what's going to happen? Maybe they don't do anything at all.
I don't know.
That's happened before.
A lot of people think Charlotte's untouchable anyways. So, I don't know. It's hard telling. So, I mean, based on, history, it seems like she's kind of untouchable and can do what she wants, but we'll find out pretty soon. I guess we'll see if that title heads over to Sasha Banks or somebody else in due time.
Oh, we'll find out tonight on a fresh episode of SmackDown. Guys, jump in the comments on today's Freestyle Friday edition. I already see all the loyals watching us today. Christopher Ryan Cooper, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out. Ricky Castillo, what's up, guys? Jeff Van Noy, hey guys. So yeah, keep on commenting. Go ahead and get your comments in. Greg Crisp, I love this one. The most electrifying podcast in sports entertainment. The Keeda. Love it. Keep putting in your comments. Keep putting in your comments, guys. So it'll be interesting what's going to happen here with Charlotte Flair in these next few weeks as we build up to Survivor Series. Will it be Becky versus Charlotte, title champion versus champion, or are they going to do something else and give it to Sasha? Who knows? Like you said, a lot of people think that she is untouchable, but in the words of Vince McMahon, nobody's bigger than WWE.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, her dropping the title is not going to be an indicator of anything either because she's never really had long title reigns. So people are obviously going to read into it if she loses the title pretty quickly, but at the same time, it may not necessarily mean that was the reason that she dropped the title either.
Let's jump into some of these comments, see what people are saying. I can see Charlotte Flair going to AEW. It's got to be noted, guys, that Andrade, her significant other, is in AEW. Although I find that very highly unlikely that she will make the jump to AEW.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's a homegrown WWE talent. Joe Van Sleet, happy Halloween, guys. All right, man, let's jump into our second story of the day here. We've been talking about this extensively now for the past few weeks as well, covering AEW, what's going on with the Forbidden Door. We talk about it all the time on the debrief every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. And we've been noticing in the recent weeks, the Good Brothers have not been appearing on TV. Christian Cage most recently dropped the title at Bound for Glory. And a lot of people are like, well, is the Forbidden Door closed? Are AEW and Impact Wrestling not going to work together? And it looks like for now, it's going to be closed.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer again coming at us here from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. While there is still there's still one Forbidden Door open, obviously, with New Japan. Obviously, Finn Juice is there. Suzuki has worked the taping, so you'll see a lot of Minoru Suzuki over the next month. But the door between AEW and Impact seems to be shut. There are no plans for Christian Cage to come back to Impact to rematch anytime soon. And of course, as Jose mentioned, the Good Brothers have not been on AEW in some time as well. They say that this does not mean the relationship has ended or they are on bad terms or anything, as both sides are open to be working with each other in the future. It is just a we're done for now type of deal.
Yeah, I kind of saw this coming, they weren't doing a lot of appearances, and it was a gradual change kind of thing where you were just like, oh, okay, they weren't here this week. And then it was the next week. It was like, okay, well, what's going on? I just feel like AEW got the better end of this deal than Impact did.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it just wasn't really good business for Impact in the long run to do business with AEW right now. Maybe they just got to build up. I know you watch Impact on the regular. I really don't watch it as much because I got a lot of other stuff I got to take care of. But you mentioned that Impact has been really on point with their talent, with their presentation. Do you think that they got to focus more on that? Did they used to tour before?
Yeah,
Kinda?
I think they would every once in a while. I think they still mostly stuck to taping out of their home base in Tennessee. But like they did, this next month's all going to be in Vegas from shows that they taped 2 days after Bound for Glory. So, and I don't know. I wonder if, I wonder if the clock is ticking on the Good Brothers. I think they probably want to go to AEW and join their elite brethren. But I don't know. They've had a lot of success in Impact, and they retained at Bound for Glory. So they are still the tag team champions. So it's hard telling. But yeah, the Impact's been a really good product over the last 2 years. They brought in a lot of great talent. And, there's still rumors that Strowman might still be coming over. Not sure about Bray Wyatt at this time. Obviously, his clock ended tonight, so he is now officially a free agent. But it's I don't know. Impact really does need to work on it. Probably first and foremost, a better television partner because their reach is so small right now. They have some sweet deals where if you subscribe for $1 a month on YouTube, you can watch the show basically it's available 30 minutes into the live broadcast on Access TV. So that's a kind of a good deal if you don't get access, because there's a lot of good talent on that roster. Trey Miguel is your new X Division champion, tremendous wrestler. He was part of the Rascals with MSK. Obviously, Josh Alexander's had a hell of a year, kind of a crap deal that they did what they did with Moose against him at Bound for Glory. But yeah, it's a good product. I think it just needs to find a place to have a better reach. Then I think they could be more successful and be a viable third place to land for a lot of wrestlers.
Agreed. I absolutely agreed. And I liked Impact. The problem is that I can't find where it's available, like on my Spectrum guide and things like that. And just trying to track it down, or even watching it through nefarious sites, it just takes time. I just want to kind of know where it's going to be broadcasted, so I can just record it.
That's why I like the YouTube thing. I've done that lately. The Impact app used to have it out there for like about 2 hours after it aired. But then they started putting that behind the $7 a month paywall. So now, but you get this YouTube subscription for just $1 a month, and you can literally start watching it a half hour into the live broadcast. So it's kind of a neat deal there, and it's going to be, of course, it's commercial free. So
that's pretty cool. That's always real cool.
Yeah,
guys, it is Freestyle Friday. Jump in in the comments, get your questions in, engage with the show. Show us how much you love us by throwing up the thumbs up, the heart emojis, the angry emojis, the wow emojis, the laughing emojis. It doesn't matter. Throw it up. Show us that you love us. Also, guys, if you want to listen to all of our shows in podcast form, you can go ahead and get that Sportskeeda Wrestling podcast available on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your major podcasts. We are charting in the top 100 in Australia, in different parts of the world. It's amazing that our reach is so far out. Thank you so much, guys. Go ahead and subscribe to the podcast and leave us a 5-star review, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, we're on our road to 30,000. We just made 22. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss whenever we drop brand new content. So today we got a little tease from a former WWE superstar who is now in AEW, Matt Hardy, Hall of Famer in his own right. And he put a major tease today. Now, if you guys remember, Matt Hardy was former tag team champions with one Bray Wyatt, and the Eater of Worlds,
the leader of worlds,
the leader of worlds. That's what it was. I love that gimmick. I thought that was great back then, a couple of years ago. But what's this tease that our guy Matt Hardy has pulled up today?
Matt Hardy went on to Instagram today, shared a photo of himself and Wyndham when they held the Raw Tag Team Championships, and simply said, TBT 2018, it's almost time to delete the dastardly no compete. Wyndham, of course, has all eyes on his Twitter right now. His last tweet was that 2 more days tease from Wednesday. He has still not tweeted yet tonight. Maybe he's waiting for SmackDown to air to maybe put something out and break the internet during SmackDown.
That'll be crazy if he does do that. Like if you just put something out while the broadcast is going live on FS1. By the way, it is on FS1 tonight, guys. The World Series is on Fox.
Yep.
Wrestling's on FS1 tonight.
I would not be surprised if he dropped something during SmackDown. Not going to be surprised.
I'm going to definitely keep my eyes closed on the chat. So, but this is interesting, man, because, a lot of people have been speculating and talking where Bray Wyatt's going to do, what he's going to do, where he's going to end up. Will he end up in All Elite? Will he end up at Impact? We know that he has had some conversations, as per several reports that we've gotten, that he has had several conversations, but has not had a deal with Impact Wrestling. Same thing with Braun Strowman, where he's been having multiple talks with Impact and still haven't been able to come to a deal.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, Fightful Select had posted a Fightful Select. Sean Ross Sapp had posted a picture last night, and if I'm gonna bear with me just 2 seconds here, I'm gonna get this up, pull this up here. He had posted a picture on Fightful Select last night, and there it is right there. Bray Wyatt and an unknown gentleman, Bray pointing, but as you see on the top there, that looks like a Warner Brothers logo.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've
Movie,
been saying this. Yes.
movie.
Yes.
Warner Media, of course, owns TNT as well. So Warner Media and hello, doggy.
Oh, my
You
dog
got
just came in there.
he got a cameo appearance there. So Warner Brothers could be movie, could be TNT, could be anything. So take your pick. But interesting photo that Fightful Select posted out there last night.
I've been saying this for months that he's been taking an interest into the movie business.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if Bray ends up doing some Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
Not that he needed to wait for his non-compete, because he could have been working on projects while he was on non-compete. It's not wrestling, it's movies.
Yeah.
But I have a strong feeling we may not see him in a wrestling ring for a while. I'm not saying that he's never going to return. I just think it's going to be for a while.
I don't know. He would have. I don't think he would have teased 2 more days for just a movie thing, because he could be working on, like you said, he could have been doing movies the whole time. So
maybe he's trolling. Maybe he's just trolling everybody.
Maybe that's what Matt Hardy's doing too. They like to troll on Twitter,
They all like to troll, bro.
Get them dirt sheets of grinded.
Yes, sir. Guys, get your questions in on today's edition of Freestyle Friday. I'm going to go ahead and scroll back into the comments and read it because we're going to jump into your questions and your comments on today's edition of The Top Story. Again, just to kind of recap all the stories today, man. Backstage news, Heat with Charlotte Flair. This stuff's been has been mounting up little by little. AEW Impact's relationship now with AEW seems to be closed, and Matt Hardy teases again another reunion with Bray Wyatt. So a lot of stuff in the news today. But let's jump into some of these comments here. Jeremy, Christopher Cooper, Jose G, and Jeremy, what's up? Do you guys see the little hints that a feud might be starting with Adam Cole and Kenny Omega?
Not yet, but it'll happen. It's going to happen, but it's probably going to be a year or 2 away.
I've been seeing a lot of subtleties and more on Adam Cole's side, because it's just the way that he looks at Kenny. Like, he almost kind of looks at him with like a little bit of disdain and disgust every time like he's there. And then like when the Young Bucks there, he just kind of fixes it up and, gets big perks right back up.
He just arrived, though. I don't think they're going to pull that trigger until maybe Full Gear next year or something like that. I think we're still a ways away from that happening.
Let's see here. What's going to happen with Charlotte Flair in WWE? Asks Jeff Van Noy on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Anybody's guess. I mean, a lot of people say she's
an emoji. If you type in the IDK on your keyboard and you get this,
it's anybody's guess. I mean, people think she's untouchable, but then at the same time, Bray Wyatt got fired. So, who knows? To be honest with you.
Jason Lewis on YouTube. Who does Charlotte think she is? Only reason she's worth a damn is because of her father.
Woo!
People do not like Charlotte. Some people just do not like Charlotte Flair.
And they play that same card every time.
And then Gary Murphy on Facebook saying Charlotte has been a prime ambassador for WWE. Yeah. I can say that. I can agree with that.
She's carved her own path, so.
Let's see here. Christopher Ryan Cooper with an interesting. Are we going to hear TK talk about how Rampage might beat SmackDown in the ratings again, since SmackDown's on FS1 again? Just stirring the pot.
Yeah, no, I don't think. It's 2 different time slots, it's not 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Eastern is not a good time slot, and you could see it. You could see it with Rampage starting to trickle down now in the ratings back to like the mid 550s, and so.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the whole ratings thing kept going, and they are in 2 different time slots, so you can't really compare them. It's apples and oranges, right?
Yeah.
And the FS1 replay got more viewership than AEW Rampage. So I don't know.
Plus Rampage is taped. That hurts it a lot. They definitely get bumps when it's live. This is taped, so yeah, there's no chance it's gonna get close.
Ricky Castillo watching us on Facebook. It's a work for Survivor Series.
There you go.
Could
maybe be. I don't know, but Sonya Deville got involved too. Apparently, she wanted to kick Charlotte's ass too. So I don't think it's a work, to be honest with you. Maybe
Emmanuel
they're working into a shoot, or they're shooting into a work. One of the two.
Emmanuel Lulu watching us on Facebook saying, not for nothing, but Charlotte has given WWE a nice little jolt with this. SmackDown viewership's going to be crazy tonight.
Well, I don't know about crazy because it's going to be on FS1. It's going to be like 800,000 people crazy.
It's not going to be 2.1 million.
No, it's going to be half. It's going to be less than half of what they normally get.
Jeff Van Noy's asking on Facebook, what are your guys' opinion on the situation on Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar? I thought that Paul Heyman was too loyal with Lesnar.
I don't know. It's a story that's not done yet. I think Lesnar's going to come back at the Rumble, probably win it, or win something to get a match with Roman at WrestleMania. Then we finally probably put to end whether or not Paul is working Roman or not. Which I don't know. Like I said, he craps his pants around Roman, and he didn't necessarily act like that around Brock. So I still don't think he's going to turn on Roman, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. It's a very interesting situation because it's almost like their same role but different, right? Like, because you got the advocate who advocates for Brock, and then you got the council who really just kind of advises Roman on what to do, but ultimately Roman does what Roman wants to do. I don't know how this ends up because the story's still not over, just like you mentioned. I think we only got a sliver of what we're going to find out what the story, how it's going to end up at Crown Jewel. And now that he is, quote unquote, suspended indefinitely, okay, we'll get a better idea closer to Royal Rumble where the story's going to go. Paul's still going to be running on a very, very thin margin here with Roman. He's going to be keeping a close eye on him. So we'll see how it happens, because Roman could just be like, I don't need you.
Yeah,
exactly. He doesn't need him.
Yeah, it's been amazing how over the past couple of years they've been able to do this long-term storytelling with Roman. First it was with the Usos and that great story that they told, and now it's kind of weaved into Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, and they just continuously have this long arc for Roman Reigns that's actually been hitting on all cylinders, and it makes you interested in what's going to happen next.
Thomas Bailey, our watching on Facebook, is asking, do you see WWE picking up any of the released ROH stars? If you guys remember, these last few days, we've been talking about pretty much the shutdown of Ring of Honor. They went on a hiatus and released all of their superstars from their contracts, even announcing that they've been selling their video libraries to the highest bidder. It's been quite the hot topic for the last few days. We discussed this pretty thoroughly. I think it was on Wednesday, where when this kind of all went down. I don't think WWE will end up picking up a lot of these stars. I think the AEW might.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that could be WWE bound. You got Brody King and Chris Dickinson are a couple of guys that are bigger guys that probably Vince would like, except Brody King is tag champions with Malachi Black in PWG. So there's a tie there that could bring Brody King to AEW as opposed to WWE. Chris Dickinson is probably a good one. Outside of that, God, I don't think they would go with a Jonathan Gresham because I think it would be too similar to Cedric Alexander, and they would just do nothing with him, and that's going to be a travesty if they do that with Jonathan Gresham. Obviously Matt Taven is not going to go because he's good friends with Mike Bennett. And he knows how Mike Bennett was treated there. Shane Taylor is a possibility. But the list of people that are on Ring of Honor, it's more conducive that they go to Impact or AEW than WWE. It's a very minute group that possibly could go to NXT or WWE.
The one person that would probably fit character-wise in WWE would be Danhausen, because what he's doing, he would be a good fit. But right now he has a good relationship. He's got a lot of friends in AEW.
He'd be he'd be chasing the 24/7 title the entire time.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They would not use Danhausen right.
Greg Crisp on YouTube watching us here. He's saying, how awesome would it be if all the wrestling promotions got together for pay-per-views like WWE versus Impact or AEW? That would be fantastic if we lived in a perfect world, right? I mean, that's like the ultimate dream is kind of like have a Grand Prix of wrestling between all the promotions.
Oh,
I
hell
think
yeah.
that would be fantastic.
Yeah, but not everybody wants to play ball, so.
Exactly. AEW has impressed me lately. I'm hoping that Hangman Page becomes the world heavyweight champion.
He will.
We've been talking a lot about Adam Page, Kenny Omega these last 2 weeks. Recently, on the most recent episode of Dynamite, he revealed himself to be the State Puff Marshmallow Man, taking on the Ghostbusters, helping the Dark Order get a win over the Elite. And everybody wants Adam Page to be the new AEW champion. He was supposed to be the first one. Unfortunately, he wasn't. But now we got a cool storyline that we could actually sink our teeth in because Kenny Omega and Adam have a long history.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a match. We talked about how these long-term stories that they've been telling with Roman Reigns. This has been one of those long-term stories that's going to get that payoff on November 13th.
All right, jumping into some more of your questions. Tyrone Randall watching us on Facebook. What are your guys' thoughts about maybe WWE versus AEW at Survivor Series or Raw versus everybody? We get this question at least twice a week, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see this.
Yeah. WWE is not going to play ball. Their forbidden door is shut.
Great question here for both of us. What's your thoughts on Toxic Attraction and that ladder match? I thought that was a great ladder match. I feel really, really bad for Io because that spill was not good at all. Her body contorted in a way that is not supposed to. But this kind of confirms my theory that WWE is not only high on Mandy Rose right now, or NXT is high on Mandy Rose, but they're high on the whole Toxic Attraction and pushing the young talent. And that ladder match was a very good example of that.
Yeah. I predicted Toxic Attraction to walk out with those titles just because this, the reports of NXT being sexier, edgier. I mean, that's Toxic Attraction right there. So pretty much the writing was on the wall when you saw those reports of what they want to do with NXT, that they were going to be completely behind Toxic Attraction, and it showed. The ladder match is not going to go down as one of the all-time great ladder matches, but it was a very entertaining match, and I thought all 6 women involved did a great job. I think maybe Zoe Stark might have come out of that a little hurt as well, banged up her knee possibly. Of course, Io took some insane bumps, but overall it was a very enjoyable match.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for today's edition of the Top Story. If we didn't get to your questions, we'll get to them in the chat. We'll get to them in the comments. Sorry if we didn't get it on the live broadcast, but we really appreciate you hanging out with us here for this half hour on the Freestyle Friday edition of the Top Story. Guys, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and smash that notification bell so you never miss whenever we drop brand new content. Tonight, immediately after AEW Rampage, we have Smack Talk with Dirty Dutch Mantel and SP3. They're going to be breaking down and reviewing SmackDown and AEW Rampage. So you want to make sure you get your notification bell set so as soon as they go live, boom, you get it on your phone and you can tune in and watch the show. Plus, Monday nights, we got Legion of Raw with Dr. Chris Featherstone and Vince Russo, bro. And every Wednesday night, the debrief, 10 p.m. here on the Sportskeeda Wrestling channel with myself and Rico covering AEW and NXT 2.0. And every single afternoon, Jeremy and myself and Kevin cover the top stories of the day. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Jeremy, what you got going on this weekend?
I've got going on a refresh to see if Wyndham has tweeted. Not yet. So we'll wait. We'll keep refreshing that page. This
Very
weekend,
cool.
I got some fun. Got some friends playing in bands, so I'm gonna go check those out. Not gonna do too much Halloween stuff.
You're gonna get into some Halloween shenanigans.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, I'm planning to get into plenty shenanigans this weekend. It's Halloween. I love this. This is my favorite holiday.
Yeah, so we'll see what's going on this weekend. Gonna have a little fun, that's for sure. Catch me on Lost in the Mid Card. We dropped a new episode last night. We broke down Crown Jewel and Bound for Glory and talked about ROH as well. Just search for Lost in the Mid Card. Hit the new feed on the podcast side of things, and also on the YouTube. Just search for Lost in the Mid Card. Give us a little subscribe. Give us a little thumbs up, ski, and we'd appreciate it.
Go ahead and do that right now, guys. Lost in the mid card, and also while you're doing that, while you're on YouTube and doing that, go ahead and follow my show, Weekends of Wrestling. Last night we had a great show. We had a great interview with Jamie Stanley from the NWA. He was on our show last night. We had a great conversation with him. He's going to be making his appearance in a tag team matchup at Pro Wrestling Action next week, November 7th, here in Sanford, Florida. If you guys are in the local area, go ahead and check out the tickets at ProWrestlingAction.com. Go ahead and do that right now. And go ahead and give me that subscribe and like button. Follow me on all my socials, Jose G Official, Jeremy Bennett at JB Huskers. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy Halloween. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. But remember, the most important thing when you're watching wrestling, what's the most important thing you got to do, man?
You got to enjoy wrestling. Boo! Yeah!